Hi, everybody. This is Jerry Garrettson, Tabea Law. Let me go ahead and read this, and then we'll talk about the golden parachute, the EB-5 visa. All right. So here we go. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called the seas, and God saw that it was good. I want to talk about the EB-5. So, of course, immigration law, you have two major categories. You got the non-immigrant visas, and then you have the immigrant visas. The non-immigrant visas are for people that are coming into this country temporarily, and the immigrant visas are the ones that are coming here on a permanent basis, looking to get their green card, their legal permanent residence, and then eventually citizenship. So today we're talking about the EB-5. Now, EB-5 is the EB stands for employment-based, and 5 is the category. You have 5 categories here. Let me back up a little bit. So you have for the migrant, okay, or the immigrant, you're looking for folks are looking to stay here permanently. They're here. They're looking to become not always. It is a pathway to citizenship, but they are definitely looking to get the green card and be here on a permanent basis. So you have the two major areas under the migrant, which is the family-based and then the employment-based. Okay, family-based, the most popular way to become to get your green card in the United States is through immediate relatives. And so if you have a U.S. citizen that has a foreign spouse or children or a parent, then those folks, the U.S. citizen can sponsor them and get them here generally within a year or so. And that's the most popular way to get here. The other category is employment-based, and that's what we're going to touch on briefly today. So employment-based, meaning that folks can find a pathway to, well, people can come here, migrate here, and get their green card through their employment. And so they don't have to have an immediate relative here. If they have a skill and or money, then they can come employment based. Now it's interesting because you got 5 different categories, and they're all different. Obviously, some are more popular than others. So you got the EB-1, which is for ordinary. For people with extraordinary, sorry about that, abilities, and that's category number 1. Category EB-2, EB-3s are folks with employed, and they have for the EB-2 you got master's degrees, higher education, and in the EB-3 you have just bachelor's and different work experiences, and most importantly, a company that's going to sponsor you in for your green card, for your application, your I-140, which once that's done, then you do your I-485, and that's your adjustment status. So that's the E2, the E3. Now, both of these have what you call the PERM process that you have to go through. With the exception on the EB2 that if you have a national interest waiver, which is rare, then you don't need to go through the PERM process. But if there's no NIV, then you do. Excuse me. So the EB3, you do have to go PERM process, which basically requires the company to verify that they've exhausted all avenues of trying to hire an American for the job, and that they can prove through a labor certification that they cannot. They've done the advertising. They've put the job on the website. They've done different things, and they cannot find an American worker. Therefore, now the government will allow them to go outside America and bring in a foreign worker. So that's how that works. And also you have a prevailing wage determination that you need to do along with the perm process. And that's just to make sure that you're not hurting the wage of any Americans that are already here. So the idea is that this country wants to make sure that if you're bringing in foreign workers, that you're not bringing them in and paying them nothing, because that would affect their wages of other workers in that same area and doing the same job, Americans. And so this country will allow you to bring in other outside workers, foreign workers, as long as in doing that, you're not upsetting the wage schedule, thus hurting Americans, lowering their wage, and or misplacing American jobs, or not allowing Americans to have those jobs and bringing in foreigners to take those jobs instead of the Americans, therefore displacing American workers. So that's what the perm is about. The EB-5, this deals with special categories like special interest groups, diversity. You got juveniles. So it's a whole different area. This is where you'll see the folks in Afghanistan coming here, and they'll use this EB-5. The translators that we had that helped our military. This is a vehicle that we use to get them here. The EB-5, and that's what I really wanted to talk about, which we're just about out of time. We're going to have to continue this sometime in the future. But the EB-5 is the parachute. They call it the parachute visa, because the golden parachute, because this is for people who can invest $1 million or $500,000 in rural areas. And then if they have the money, then they have a pathway to the green card. So that's why it's a golden parachute, because they're parachuting into this country because they have money, basically. And not only that, but they have to be able to hire and pay for 10 salaried workers full-time. And so it's the investment. You're investing in a business here, and you're putting money into the country, and you're hiring people. So the government says, well, if somebody can do that, then we're going to allow them to come here and get their green card and move forward. So that's your golden parachute. Okay, I think we're done for today, and we'll see you guys next time.